It's wood. It's an organic material, and we have grease in our finger.
Yeah.
So it's a way to preserve it. Basically, it's got an introduction, what this place is, and what this model represents, and why it's so important to have it here. But before that, I would like to say a little bit about the guy who made this. His name was Konrad Schick. Maybe you heard his name before. Yeah, he was German, working for a Swiss organization, coming to Israel in the late 40s, 46, 47. But began his work with TMJ around 1851. He was a cook, drum maker. That's why he was so good on working with wood. And then he became an archaeologist, a city planner, an architect, and of course, a model maker. Although he already made models back in Germany. Okay, so this model, why so special, and why do we have it here? Well, it is not, the model is not what you see, it's not what it's all about, because you can go not far from here and see it by yourself. Right. What is special is what you will see. And this is the picture that we are removing on the screen. And of course, this is an opportunity to release it up, and you can actually move it, but you have to put it back in order to preserve it. It was made in 1872 or 1873, between 2 years, upon the request of the Sultan. There were about 3 more made like this. One of them is in the Schmick School, which is in front of Damascus Gate. I haven't seen it personally, I have not seen it yet. There's another one in the Biblical Museum in Amsterdam. Okay, if you go to Amsterdam in the summer, or whenever you go back to Holland. There's another one there, and I presume that, do not quote me on this, for this one in London. That one, I don't know about. I know about these 3. This one, Schmick School, and Amsterdam. Okay, great objects that do super structure that we have in front of us, which is the Dome of the Rock. Built in 691, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which was built about 10-15 years later. A lot of people get confused with what this building is. Right? It is not a mosque. Okay? It is a shrine which commemorates, according to Islamic tradition, okay, the ascension to heaven, okay, by Muhammad. From here there is what they call, according to Jewish tradition, the foundation stone, which says that from here God created the world. So when the Muslims conquered Jerusalem in 638, they kind of built up this tradition that Muhammad, prior to that, he came here and went on his journey up into heaven, and he meets Moses and all the prophets, so on and so forth. Whatever the story is. Okay, so that's what this building represents. Because of political tensions, this day we are not allowed to go inside, and I say political because I've been there about 15, 16 years ago. It's a beautiful building. 85% of the building is original. Only the tiles were changed with the same guy who built the walls of Jerusalem, Suleiman the Magnificent, because the tiles were peeling off. So he changed the tiles around. And then we have here the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which show you what is below this place. If you go to the southern excavation, okay, which I recommend you, all of you do, it's an amazing place to be there. You can also see today the triple gate and part of the double gate. Okay, there's a tower here today that's kind of covering one gate and a half. You can also only see the link. Both of them are black. However, during the time of Jesus, okay, there were two double gates. Both of them were double gate. Today's one is triple gate, but back then there were people who come from the city of David is down there. This is what is called Ophel. People who come, go through here, and come up right here. Okay. But these channels or passage, they are still visible. Because we are not Muslims, we are not allowed to go down there. Conrad Sheikh had the privilege, and so did Charles Wells. Put this back, okay? He had the privilege actually to go underneath and show us what is beneath this place. So a little bit about the history going back before the Islam. Okay, we all know this is what the Book of Chronicles called Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah is mentioned only once. The land of Moriah is in Genesis. So, but in Chronicles 3:1, it says that the temple was built on Mount Moriah, which is this. It was a small hill. Okay, later on, Herod the Great will expand it, and that's what we have today. And when you create retaining walls as this one, all that you're in front of the western wall, the north and the south wall, automatically you create space underneath. This is artificial, okay? This is solid. You saw it when I lifted the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Second. This area is on air, meaning you have arches in order to support this weight. That's why this is the weakest point. Every time there's a huge earthquake, this area suffers the most. This doesn't, because it's on solid rock. Yeah, it does. The Al-Aqsa Mosque has been destroyed a few times because of earthquake. The last time was in 1927. That's why the roof of the Al-Aqsa Mosque today is different than this one, because it has to be rebuilt. That's why it is different. This building, which probably was a Crusader building, is no longer there. Oh, but about this piece, this is the so-famous Solomon's Table, which got nothing to do with Solomon. Why is that? The Crusader, when they came in 1099, they didn't know so much about the place, so they confused. They thought this was the Temple of Solomon, and this was his palace. So, and so therefore this must be his tables. Actually, the Crusader did use this as a stable at one point,